All right, well, let's get this underway. Match number 2 between the Mad Hatters and Rydrs. Rydrs took it. First game, 5-2. This game, Mad Hatters looking to bring it back, but they're going to be hard-pressed. Rydrs have claimed many a Sunday community skirmish. Let's go ahead and look at the ship loadouts. First off, for the Mad Hatters, we have the Thunderstruck, a Pyramidion being piloted by Rhythm Rogue. Hades Echidna forward with Banshee and Flare on the port side. They're also bringing the Pouncing Pony. There we go. Being piloted by Princess Tutu. Carronade and Gatling forward with Banshee and Flare on the port side.
And then we have the Fancy Fairy, a Mobula piloted by Daniel, and he has got a Mercury on the top deck with that Hades Gat on the mid decks, and then Flare Banshee on the outer wings, that exact build that we saw last match, so interestingly played. And then we have the Lib Clutter, the Mobula piloted by Luosi, with the Hades top deck, Artemis Caro on the lower, and Artemis Flamer out on the wings.
Yes, indeed, sir.
Yes, indeed. Yes. Absolutely, sir. Whatever you say, Master White.
Lib Clutter and Fancy Fairy working their way forward. They're going for the center of the map this time. Rydrs are bold. They're like, you know what? Let's get this over with.
Except when they bring double galleons when they circle the map clockwise. Every single time. Clockwise, round the map. But
Water Hazard is just one great big toilet, and everyone's swirling around it.
And the Rydrs are the little freshener that you clip to your bowl.
Perfect. Now the Rydrs already getting shots off. Wow, that Hades hit the very tip of the nose cone.
Excellent shot. Oh, and they actually were able to disable a Gatling from the side. That was a good shot. I once disabled a front gun on the Pyramidion with the Mercury from behind. That was a good day. I was looking square at the engine columns and I managed to get one of the front guns.
Gorgeous.
Don't know how. Never be able to do it again. But I did it once and I talk about it. Make it seem like make it seem like I can do something other than just pilot mediocrely.
Pyramidions are kind of weird. I remember I've tried to hit guns and with like an Artemis or a Mercury and ended up like taking out a light engine. It's
just
really
like,
funny.
All right, whatever. I mean, it's a very condensed ship. Like if you think about where all the weapons are, especially if you're looking at it from, if you're looking at the port side of the vessel, there's a lot of hitboxes really close pitched together. So I don't know. I guess things wonk up a couple times. Riders got themselves a good position here to get the Hatters pinned down.
Yeah, the Rydrs are remarkably pinned, actually. It's kind of funny. Like, they have plenty of room to back up, so they're not worried about taking cover. But the gents are looking to close distance.
Yeah, they've gone around. They're both taking cover behind the same stalagmite here, but they're at very, very different elevations. Very, very, very different. Well, Pouncing Pony is coming up now. Thunderstruck is still staying pretty low. And even though these ships are really close to each other, they kind of have left the Pouncing Pony out to dry just on an elevation scale, and he is getting focused real hard.
Oh my god, look at that damage coming out!
Dude, Banshee, man, I'm telling you.
It was
awesome.
everything. Everything is hitting the Pouncing Pony. They get the bump on it, trying to take out the armor. It will drop. Flamethrower should be able to finish it off.
Oh, and those flak shots were just a hint too late on the Lib. Oh wait, that was just the balloon that dropped, not the hull. Never mind. Flak shots could have
Just
come
the
in.
balloon. Lib Clutter losing a lot of permahull though. Thunderstruck ramming it up against the cliff, but they get out just barely. And the Thunderstruck,
Wow.
I don't think can finish off the Lib Clutter. Their armor is back up. Armor and balloon down on the Thunderstruck. Fancy Fairy does not have arcs, however. Too busy ramming them into the mountain, but they save their ally only barely.
Yeah, the Lib Clutter does not. They've got one hull strip left in them, and then the Gatling gun is gonna finish them off. Even if the gunner is like, okay, as soon as the hull stops, as soon as the hull drops, I'm gonna stop shooting. Those extraneous couple bullets that were already in the air are gonna kill the ship.
Pouncing Pony spawns behind a rock, coming around the side. Thunderstruck taking a lot of damage. Engineers desperately trying to keep the engines up so they can keep moving as Zingy keeps the armor going, but
Pouncing Pony going into intercept, maybe draw some fire off of the ally, but is he going
Too
into
much,
intercept
too deep.
too aggressively? As now he has zoned himself, and in attempting to be the hero, has become the damsel in distress. He's got a beeline for that Libclutter. He wants to finish him off, but he's got no armor to do it with. Libclutter just cruises on over.
The Prince needs saving. Thunderstruck throwing out Hades shots, trying to do something, but almost hitting its ally, in fact. Fancy Fairy coming around on the broadside of the Pouncing Pony. Easy, easy shots. Gets the ram just to take it out a little bit faster.
Libclutter, however, is all out of balloon now and is at risk for bottoming out here. Does manage to back up by themselves a little bit of extra elevation. While the Fairy hits the pony pretty hard with that Gatling gun. The armor's going to drop in a moment here.
Ooh, armor down. They're grinding up against the mountain. Twerk it, baby. But the Fancy Fairy eating some Hades and Echidna fire. They're going to have to back up.
I think he's Velcroed, because there's, I mean, why would he still be up against this mountain like this? I think he's stuck, yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, there he goes. He's free. Freedom. No, dead. Freedom from life. Freedom from this cruel world.
And now the Thunderstruck is taking heavy fire. Libclutter taking shots, but they should be okay. Thunderstruck, easy arcs on that Pyrrha.
Hades going a little
Artemis
tall.
going.
Yeah, Thunderstruck. I think Thunderstruck is... Oh, hang on. They're all out of balloon. They're all out of balloon now. Where are
Yeah,
these...
I was going to say, like, they might be okay. They would have been okay if their balloon was up. But they're dropping
actually,
hard.
They've got a really cool, like, sort of bit of hard cover here. They turn themselves...
Ooh, bounce.
Yeah, they made a hard turn, and they managed to... Oh, no. Oh, no. The hole is up, but the balloon is still down, and now this is giving the Fancy Fairy a chance to come around and regain arcs. Pouncing Pony is too far away to be able to save him in any reasonable amount of time.
Now, and in fact, the Libclutter is facing back toward the Pouncing Pony, making sure that nothing comes up behind as the Fancy Fairy deals with the Thunderstruck. Banshee and Artemis coming in.
Yeah, they are camping that hole hardcore, watching it just pop up so quickly. But, I mean, when everyone's camping the hole, there's no one shooting the guns, and you're just delaying the inevitable at that point. But, I think
Trying to buy time for the pony to come in, and in fact, here they come.
Yeah, but the Fancy Fairy... Oh, hang on, that is the rear end that they are putting that Gatling in. But, whereas Pouncing Pony does not have explosives.
Nope, no explosives, not quite going for the ram. They're just going to try to chip him down. Here comes the ram. Oh!
Beautiful.
That was very close, but just barely hitting the hull and getting a nice kill for themselves.
Yeah,
Thunderstruck, yeah, that's why you tank. You're waiting for your ally to come in and save you, and that worked.
Yeah, and Libclutter, again, was super low, and actually the Hatters have the opportunity to tie this one up.
Yeah, they're going to flank. Look at this. Libclutter in a terrible amount of trouble right now. If that armor drops, they are done.
Yeah, and that Hades is really not doing them any favors, because not only is that doing a lot of piercing damage, but that it's got a couple stacks of fire on the hull. 4 in fact, and there goes the hull, there goes the ship. And there we go, we are all tied up.
Two for two.
Fancy Fairy has spawned back in. If both these periods can turn around quick enough, they could seriously take advantage of this disadvantageous spawn and turn this in their favor.
So Mercury doing a lot of damage. They take out the armor of the Thunderstruck. Banshee coming in. They bring up the armor very quickly. Two people on the lower decks of the Thunderstruck.
They're scared of that Banshee.
The Pouncing Pony has got to do something, but Libclutter spawns in right next to the Fancy Fairy. Suddenly, the Pouncing Pony is staring down the barrel of a huge amount of firepower.
Yeah, and
6
their
barrels.
Balloon drops. 6 barrels. Their balloon drops. Their hull is well, actually, Fancy Fairy is not exactly sitting on top of the world, but Pouncing Pony is really taking the hits right now.
Libclutter putting out some serious damage. Fancy Fairy can tank this okay. However, the Hades and the Echidna is starting to come in. They're too close for arming time now. Fancy Fairy returning fire. Pouncing Pony and Thunderstruck both very badly hurt, but the Fancy Fairy eating some half damage Echidna, still doing a ton.
Yeah, and I mean, it does
Oh,
60% damage, so it's not, it's
it
weak,
does
but
a
it's
lot.
nowhere near useless. Yeah.
Yeah, now Pouncing Pony did go down. Now Thunderstruck once again all alone. Boy, howdy, this looks familiar.
Yeah, but he's got nowhere to run this time. There's no hard cover anywhere in sight, and he also goes down.
2-4 in favor of the Riders. Fancy Fairy down to half permahull after some nice controlled fire, but there's just way too much firepower between these two Mobulas, and the Gatling Carronade doesn't have enough disable or kill.
I think it has enough. I think it has enough disable against both ships, but Mobulas are really resistant to disable because their components are so spaced out.
Yeah, definitely.
And you need to come in from a high
I agree.
angle in order to get good arcs on the disable. And the carronade has really bad low angle, so when you come in high, it's difficult to hit with it.
I gotta say, I'm really liking the Fancy Fairies setup. I'm very impressed.
Yeah,
I
I
think
mean, when we both, oh, excuse me, when we saw it for the first time, we were both like, "What? Oh, hey, what's going on over here?" But I mean, as soon as we saw that thing in action, it was like, "Oh,
well, they're controlling their arcs extremely well. That's what's
extremely
really
well."
impressing me.
Yeah, extremely, extremely well.
If they didn't have as good a control over their arcs, they'd be having a lot more trouble.
Yeah, this is not a beginner friendly build. This is
No.
not even an intermediate friendly build. This is a this
No,
is
this
a
is
this is an extremely advanced build that they're running right now.
Yeah, definitely. Right now, the coordination between gunners and pilot is incredible.
Oh, yeah.
Riders really just showing why they're on top with this build, if you ask me.
I'd agree with that statement 100%. As the Thunderstruck loses its hull and loses a lot of its perma, oh man, I think they're gonna go down here.
There they go. 5-2 once again for the Riders. They move on to the finals. They are going to be facing the Clamor, who won by default.
Oh no, that's unfortunate. No contest.
No contest.
Aw.
Aww.
Sorry, I was the wrong character. Or no, I'm wearing the wrong costume.